Hi everyone. So welcome to the class. In the last lecture we were talking about what is text analysis and what is text representation, right? So we realized that you might have lot of raw data, but this data is of no use because the computer won't understand it. So to make the computer understand, you will have to train it in a manner so that the computer can easily grasp it and use it for further analysis. Okay. So this whole discussion that we are doing on text analysis is surrounding the same theme or objective, that how you can use document data or text data or reviews, feedbacks that people are talking to each other or in a group, how that can be used for interpreting, understanding and taking good decisions by a company. Okay. So today we'll see how text analysis is used in certain fields of management, for example, in customer service or marketing and sales, finance, human resource, HR, or operations, how they are being used. Now, if you see text analysis in customer service, for example, there are a few things. For example, it helps you to analyze the feedback, right? So, process the customer's comments, reviews, and support tickets, and identify the issues, detect the common problems or pain points of the customers, right? And improves the service accordingly. So, by implementing targeted improvements based on the insights, so the company can improve the service and also monitor the satisfaction level. What you have done, maybe the company feels it has done enough, but are the people really satisfied? So that it tracks the changes in the customers sentiments over time, constantly checking whether the customer is happy or not happy. So these are some text analysis uses in customer service. Similarly, in marketing and sales, if you see, so it helps in social media insights. So analyze the posts and comments to identify trends and customer sentiments. Okay, helping to shape the marketing strategies and product development. So we saw in the last lecture how Zomato, Ola, HDFC, they have used those text analysis to for improving their products. Okay. Similarly, campaign optimization. Now, evaluate the effectiveness of marketing messages across different channels, allowing for real adjustments or real time adjustments to improve engagement. Now, it's very important for marketers that the customer looks at your advertisement, your messages, and they engage themselves with the company, right? So how you can do that? So text data or that can be improved through better text data handling, right? So or analyzing the text data in a better way. So if you do that, so your messages can be better read or better understood by the customers or the people, and you can also make real time changes so that more people are engaged with your website, your products or services. So that will help the company. See, today all companies want that customers or the potential customers, whatever, right, should be getting engaged with their services and products, right? So more the consumer is getting engaged, consumer or customer, more is the chance that he will either be a repeat customer or he will become a customer, right? Whatever it is, if he is a consumer only, he might tomorrow become a customer. If it is a customer, he might become a repeat customer. Similarly, sales call analysis, by examining the transcripts of sales calls, right, to identify successfully tactics and areas for improvement. So there are sales transcripts, right? So you can read those transcripts, you can analyze those transcripts, use as a data source, data point, and helped in enhancing the sales team performance. Okay. And last thing is through competitive intelligence. So monitor and analyze your competitors communication and their customers feedback to get a insight about how they are operating, how they are working, and where marketing opportunities can be created, right? So all these are very important from a marketing and sales point of view. Similarly, text analysis is also very much used in human resource and healthcare. Now, for example, you see employee feedback analysis. Now every employee is giving a feedback, like our students give us feedback, right? Similarly, the employee is also constantly giving feedback. Now HR teams can use this text analysis to process employee surveys and comments, right? Identify the trends in their job satisfaction and areas for workforce improvement. So recently, some of the software companies in India, they faced a lot of backlash in connection with the working time, right? So somebody said that the working time per week should improve, should be increased to 70 hours. Somebody even went to the extent of 90 hours. So, and people started criticizing. And not only that, even it has been seen that because of poor job satisfaction, people left their job. So the employee turnover is very high. And when your employee turnover is very high, already a trained person who was there with you working for several years, if he leaves you, then creating another trained person is a very tough job and time taking job, right? So this is why employee feedback analysis is very important from a human resource point of view. Talent acquisition. So analyze resumes and cover letters to efficiently match candidates with job requirements. Now today there are human bots which have been developed. My own student has a company, and where he has developed a human bot, right? So the human bot's name is also there, Sana, right, which reads you news, which reads you weather forecasts, sports messages and all. That they are also developing a product where they can analyze resumes, even take interviews. So because you see, when you take an interview for, let's say, half an hour or 1 hour of a candidate, you don't get enough time maybe, or you may get fatigue. So what the chatbot does, the human bot, basically what it does is it takes the first line of interview among the candidates and tries to see which are the potentially fitting candidates for the next round of interview. So that first line of filtering is done by the human bot itself, right? Because there are standard questions, and those standard questions are generally asked by everyone. And interestingly, the human bot has an advantage that it can speak, for example, in our case, it can speak in 50 different languages, right? So if there is a Tamil guy, it can speak in Tamil. If it is a Punjabi person, they speak in Punjabi. If it is a person from outside, it can speak in English, even Spanish. So the advantage is that the human bot can filter and help in the first line of selection, and then maybe the second and third round or the final round may be taken by the human beings, right? So the people, the management people. So that is a very important way of talent in talent acquisition, because it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort in getting new people into the company. Similarly, in healthcare, if you see patient record analysis, now just imagine you have some health records, you have some problems pertaining to maybe your health. All this data are not numerical data, right? They're not quantitative data. So the data, some of them might be data like, for example, your blood pressure is 140 or 120 by 80. So that is a numerical data which can understand. But what about, suppose, anxiety? I feel my pulse is beating very high, I am feeling anxious, I'm getting tiredness, or sweat, I'm getting sweat sometimes in the evening. So when people are writing such kind of data, and the doctor is writing that, okay, in the morning only you get pain in your leg, not in the evening. So such kind of data is a text data, right? And this data can be used by healthcare providers to extract key information from the patient's records and identify the problem of the patients and identify the trends and improve the treatment plans. For example, then when you get new virus, like for example when COVID came, so the doctor, instead of looking at one patient, they can look at several patients' opinion, maybe from the social media or any consumer platform or medical reports, and try to understand what are the common issues of or pain points, and how the medical science can improve its the medicine or its services, so that patients can be treated better. Okay. Similarly, if you look at in finance also, you can do a real time monitoring, right? So continuous analysis of financial news and reports, right, for timely insights. For example, the Trump administration, which has joined recently, right? The Trump has become the president of America. Now he has made some announcements on tariff and other things. Now constantly monitoring will help you, because it will tell you how the markets are reacting to that, right? So all this information are very important for finance. For example, let's understand how would a Indian bank react to the announcements that Trump has made. And after Trump has made, similarly, Mexico, Canada and China also have retaliated. So all this information are nothing but text informations, right? Only one thing is non-text, that is quantitative, is that it was 10% tariff or 15% tariff or a 20% tariff, 25% tariff. That was the only quantitative part. Otherwise, most of the things, almost all, is text data only. So how would you react to this text data? How would you analyze this text data? And is it not important for you? Because all your decisions will be then taken. Should I invest in the stock market? Should the bank increase its SLR or CRR? What should it do? So the RBI thinks accordingly in such a situation. What should be the gold export or import policies from the government? What should be the major products that should be exported? So the government takes a lot of decision, right, on basis of such kind of data. 90%, for example, automation, you see, percentage of routine financial text analysis tasks can be automated. So 90% of your tasks can be automated. So when you can automate, see, I'm not getting into the controversies of job and all these things, employment, what happens to employment, but it will help you in increasing the efficiency, because a human can make some errors also, right, some human calculation errors or something, but machines will not do that. Machines will not be able to think, but machines will not be able to give you a interpretation, but machines will help you to give you a data, and that data you have to interpret in a better way. Yes, there are also iterations happening on that front also. Algorithms are being built where the machine can be trained to think also in a way, right, like thinking, and that there also improvement is happening. But we will say that, let's say, we let it work like a machine only, and the human beings are there for the final decision making. So all these different things are used in finance also, right? So you can see a market impact of $100 billion plus. Estimated values of insights generated by text analysis in finance annually is more than $100 billion, right? So this is something very, very important for everyone, right? So text analysis, as it says, this is transforming the financial sector by providing rapid data driven insights from vast amounts of textual information, and this is enabling informed investment decisions and risk management strategies. You see, finance is all about investment and risk, right? So if you cannot manage your risk well, then you will be in a very difficult state as a company. So that is why in text analysis and in finance, text analysis is extremely important, because it can help them to understand the political situations, the tariff, non-tariff kind of barriers, and this problems that is happening, how the others are reacting to that, and this is are all text data. So the text data is flooded with text data. So only thing is, can I use it to my benefit? If yes, then you have done your job. Now, what is the future of text analysis? In business, you see, text analysis will have certain benefits. So first of all, if you can see, advanced AI integration. Now, as I said, machines are being trained to think like human, right? So deeper learning capabilities for more nuanced understanding. So higher learning capabilities are being developed, right? So with AI integration, for example, you are looking at so many different AI platforms, right? From DeepSeek to ChatGPT or anything for that, right? They are all giving you information in no time, right? So and they are thinking like almost like a human being, right? So deeper learning capabilities will be are being developed, okay? Cross linguistic lingual analysis, right? So seamless analysis across multiple languages. Today you are talking about only, you are talking in English, for example, you are writing in English, right? But let's say if I can make it standardized, any language can be converted, the machine can understand any language, right? The text data may be in any language, the machine can interpret and read it. Then just imagine, you don't have the burden of knowing a new language also. So everything can be understood in maybe and can be converted to a understandable language for a person. So that is a great achievement that can happen, right? Real time processing, instant insights from streaming text data. So if there are streaming, means live text data, live data is going on. Can I do some real time processing? Can I use it in a real time, right? If yes, what can be the gain? For example, marketers today are gaining from locational advantages. By understanding the position of a person, location, they are offering them products from there and then, right? So they are real time processings, okay? And finally is multimodal analysis, where it says combining text, image and video for holistic insights. So earlier you are only talking about text or only about image and or video, but here you are talking about combining all the three, right? So just imagine how richer the data analysis can become, right? And how effective it may become, right? Now, when we are talking about sentiment analysis, the most important thing that you see, here we are not talking in a quantitative term. We are not saying 5% significance, 2% significance, or 1%. We are not talking those lines or those terms, right? Here we are talking more like whether the people are positive, whether they are negative. So understanding the sentiments is a very important task. So a powerful form of text analysis determines the emotional tone and attitude in written content, right? So for example, here you see, you can do emotional classification. So identifying positive, negative, neutral sentiments in text by analyzing the word choice and context. So the word choice, some people start their sentences with no, no, I can't do it, or no, no, he will not be coming, or you must have seen some people use very frequently those kind of words, right? And you say this guy is very negative, right? He's always saying in a negative tone. So that is and some people say, oh, I'll do it, I can do that, I will be able to do it. So either you can see two things, one is positive, or the I is coming more often. So that those kind of interpretations will help you to understand the situation, the person in a better way, right? Opinion mining extracts and analyzes subjective information from customer feedback, reviews, and social media posts, which we have already discussed, right? Real time monitoring, also we said just now, tracks brand perception and customer satisfaction through continuous analysis of the incoming text data. So there is a, let's say, incoming data which is in form of text, image, whatever it is. So you can take those real time monitoring data and understand the people's perception. Okay. And as I said, multi-level analysis evaluating sentiments as document, sentence, and aspect level of comprehensive understanding. So sentiment analysis helps you to gives you a lot of information, right, about people's thought process, their tone, and everything. Okay. Now you say this. So this is an example of a sentiment analysis with TextBlob. TextBlob is a Python library. So one thing is for you is that slowly I'll tell you about it. You all have to download the Python, in your computer wherever you have, and you have to work on it. So slowly, the more you work, the more you get familiar, your hands will get better. You will get more expertise, and you can do lots of work, right? So okay, let's go to what is text. It says TextBlob provides an intuitive way to analyze sentiments in the text, helping business understand the emotional tone, right? So TextBlob helps you to understand that emotional tone of the customer feedback, review. So this library has been made especially for this purpose. Okay. Now there are 3 steps, if you can see. The first, it says text input. Now feed any text content into TextBlob. For example, you can feed the reviews, the social media post, or the customer feedback, right? So that is the first step. Second step, it says polarity analysis. Now TextBlob evaluates if the sentiment is positive, then it gives a score of 1, neutral 0, or negative, which is -1. Okay. The third is subjectivity check, where it says it determines if the text is objective or subjective. So if it is objective, it is a 0. If it is subjective, it is a 1, right? Now this automated sentimental analysis helps business quickly process large volumes of customer feedback, right? Enabling data driven decisions about product improvement and customer service strategies. So by doing such kind of an exercise, you can get a very improved, very clear opinion whether my customers are feeling positive about me, negative about me. Suppose in a particular aspect, service, it is positive, negative, neutral, product delivery or product improvement, product design, positive, negative, neutral. So you can do that in with several objectives in mind, right? Okay. Now after sentiment analysis, the next thing that we do in text is, when we talked about text representation, text analysis, we talked about topic modeling, right? So when I said topic modeling, what did I say? Topic modeling is an advanced text analysis technique that automatically discovers hidden themes and patterns within large collections of documents, right? Helping the organizations understand and categorize their text data as at scale, right? So what it says, basically, topic modeling helps you to identify the important themes in a document, right, and create different patterns, right? Okay. How does it work? Now it uses statistical algorithms like LDA. What is that? Latent Dirichlet allocation, right? So I'll always say LDA because that is only good, easy for me, because otherwise this is a tongue twister for me. So, using statistical algorithms like LDA to identify the word clusters and patterns that frequently occur together, okay, revealing the underlying topics without human supervision. So, we will see more, we will talk about it more in depth, right, do not worry. So, we will talk more about it. So, it tries to identify the clusters, okay. So, it has lot of utility in business. Now, how? Now, it enables content organization, trend detection and document categorization across various industries, from analyzing customer feedback, research papers to processing legal documents, news articles. Just imagine for a legal business, right, how useful it can be, because in legal, for example, in fraternity, they do not have any new numbers or anything for them. They only are having text documents, so they will only discuss, talk, give opinions. So there also it can have a wonderful, there it will have a large utility, okay. The key benefits, as I said, of topic modeling is provides rapid insights from large text collections, uncovers the hidden patterns, right, some hidden, between the lines, you say, na, it's, you can read between the lines. So improves content and the recommendations, and helps the organization to take better decisions by understanding their document repositories and the customers communications. So topic modeling is in a way trying to classify different topics into different groups, okay. So this is very important, because if I can understand that who goes with whom, obviously I will have lesser things to think about. For example, let us say I have 100 variables or 100 different topics, but 100 different topics to analyze is very difficult. Or let us say in a document there are 10,000 words. Now 10,000 words, each word I will not understand. So I will try to identify the most important ones, topics, right. So if I can get, let us say, out of it, let us say 100 topics. Now 100 topics also becomes large to me. So I will still try to group it maybe into lastly final 10 topics. Then these 10 topics can be highly useful to me from a business point of view, because they are like the essence of the whole document, right. Now as a company or as a manager, I can look into what are the most important 10 points, and accordingly how I can allocate my resources for handling the customers, okay. So as I said, LDA topic modeling customer support. Look at an example. A software company used LDA to analyze 10,000 customer support tickets to improve their services, okay. Now how did they do it? The first stage, they went for data collection. So they gathered the support tickets containing customer issues, questions and feedback across multiple products and features, okay. So they collected this. After collection, what did they do? The algorithm identified the word clusters like password, because it is a software company. So password, reset, login, right, access, speed, slow, performance, loading, export, download, format, file, etc. All these different words, right. So these clusters were formed. Then it revealed that 3 main customer concern areas were there. Now what was that? Now account security issues 28%, performance related problems 35%, data management needs 37%, okay. So once it was done, now what was the business action taken by the company? Now the company responded by simplifying the password reset process, okay, upgrading their server infrastructure and adding bulk export features. Now if you see, so just imagine if you are in a situation how efficient your business can be, because the whole objective of business is to provide customer with better products and services and to minimize your mistakes, right. So here the company is responding by doing all this and improving their overall services, okay. So now from here let us see another important use is text classification, right. So in text classification, what is happening is a fundamental technique in text analysis that automatically categorizes the text documents, right, into predefined categories or classes. So you see, definition and process, what it says, automated processes that assign predefined categories to text documents based on their content. Now what is the content? Accordingly it will categorize them, right. So you obviously using machine learning algorithms to analyze the text features and patterns. And how does it classify? The classification methods, it says, it employs various approaches including some supervised learning, right, or unsupervised learning, right. where you are doing pattern detection or using label data, and hybrid methods to combine multiple techniques, right? And what is the application of text classification? For business applications, it helps in email spam filtering, sentiment classification, content categorization, document routing, and automated customer support ticket classifications. So all these are different methods which we are using, and let's see with an example how text classification is being used for customer service. For example, a major retail company, right, automated their customer service inquiries using text classification. So they processed over 50,000 customer emails monthly. Okay, what happened? Now, faster response, satisfaction, and efficiency. Three pillars or three important effective areas. So the response improved when they did text classification. The response improved by 65%. The satisfaction of their customers improved by 40%, and the efficiency, overall efficiency, improved by 50%. So what happened? Faster response, reduction in customer response time was there, satisfaction increased, right, and support team efficiency also improved, right. So what happened here? Incoming customer emails, so thousands of daily emails about returns, product information, shipping status, and technical support was being provided. And what did the automatic classification, what did they do? Now, all AI or artificial intelligence analyzes and categorizes the emails. So returns 35%, for example, product questions 25%, and shipping 30%, technical issues 10%. So this system ensured faster and more accurate responses while reducing operational costs. Okay. Now we move into understanding text summarization. So earlier we have done with topic modeling, we did classification. Now text summarization is an automated process that creates concise versions of the longer texts, right, while preserving key information and meaning. See, it is always a very painful thing when you suppose to read long documents or very big documents. So suppose when you see a newspaper, what do? You try to first look at the bullet points, right, the bold highlighted points. If you feel interested, only you read about it, because you don't want to spend your time on unnecessary or boring things. Similarly, so that is why what it does is, in text summarization, the entire document, the big, let's say, document of, let's say, 10 pages or 50 pages document. Now you will not read the 50 pages, you will feel bored, right? So what it does is, it is very important that you summarize it in a manner that the information is intact and the information is exactly tells what the 50 pages are saying, but it is in a very small way, maybe in 2 to 3 pages, right, or 1 page. So as you do in an abstract, for example, so abstract of the research paper is only 250 words or 300 words, but it gives you a very clear meaning or interpretation of what the research paper is all about, or similarly the conclusion of the research paper. So in the conclusion, you are trying to conclude whatever you have done in the work, right. So here two things are important. So it is, one is extractive summarization and the other is abstractive summarization. Now extractive summarization, so these are two ways, right. It identifies and extracts the key sentences from the original text based on importance metrics like frequency and position. So what is the frequency and where it is positioned, accordingly it will extract and summarize. And what is abstractive summarization? Now it generates new sentences that capture core meaning, similar to human written summaries using advanced natural language processing, right. And both these two, extractive and abstractive summarization, are used in enabling efficient processing of reports, news articles, and documents, right. Automated content briefings and enhance the information accessibility. As I said in a few minutes back, that just imagine how much data is there around us. For example, if I give you a book, right, for example, A Brief History of Time, right. Now, what is the content of this book? Or let's say the book by George Orwell, 1984. I don't want to read the whole book, right. So I need you to tell me in a nutshell what this book is all about, and you should not be missing any important information also. So maybe the entire book you can tell me in maybe 2 to 3 minutes or something. Similarly, in text summarization, we, with the help of the machine learning algorithms, we do the same thing, right. Now in a real example, a financial services company uses AI, artificial intelligence to summarize thousands of market reports daily. Okay. So in the human brain can't respond to so much of documents at the same time, because it has a maximum ability to read also, otherwise it will get fatigue. But machines ability is very high, obviously. So input documents, the daily influx of 500 plus market reports, financial news articles and analyst recommendations of 100 pages each, right. So these are the input documents. Now in the second stage, the AI processing happens, where the automated system identifies the key insights, trends and critical data points using natural language processing algorithms. Okay. And in the third stage, the summary generation happens, where it creates a one-page executive summary highlighting market movement, risk and opportunities, right. So this process helps traders and analysts focus on decision making rather than reading lengthy reports. So just imagine if I can tell you the gist of all the newspapers, let's say all English newspapers that are there in let's say in maybe 5 pages or 10 pages. So what important information they are carrying. So can't you then make better decisions, let's say only related to finance, let's say financial decision making. So can't you make better decisions, because you will really understand what are the most important themes. Okay. The next thing is, after text classification, modeling and all, is named entity recognition. Now it is a text analysis technique that automatically identifies and classifies the named entities. Now what are named entities? Now these are the predefined categories within the text. So entity could be, for example, person's names, so entity types, person names, organization, location, date, monetary value, custom entities, which are specific to the business needs, right. Now then what it does, once this comes as an input, so the recognition process happens. Now it uses machine learning and linguistic rules, right, to detect and classify these entities considering text and patterns in the surrounding text. So this recognition process is very important. And how does a business house use it? So it powers automated document processing, customer information extraction, regulatory compliance checking and also competitive intelligence gathering. So basically what happens is, when you get such kind of so the named entity recognition, it helps you to identify the most important entities, for example the person, the name of the business, which company is doing it, or which company is dealing with lot of important information, right. Or about, let's say you are talking about price in the market, so what are the different price points and how people are reacting to the price points. So all these things can be very helpful for a company. Okay. So if you see a customer email processing, right, so the input emails, for example you see here, is that dear support, I ordered product XC100, right, on May 15th from ABC Electronics for $299. My order 12345 hasn't arrived at 123 Main, Boston, whatever, right. So this is the input mail. Now what is the NER detection in the second stage doing? Now it tries to divide into separate categories. Now product is XC100, date is May 15th, company is ABC Electronics, price is 299, order ID is 12345 and location is taken. Other things it is not using it, right. The system automatically now responds. The system automatically routes to the shipping department, pre-fills the tracking form and prioritizes based on the order date and value. Now it has the order date and it has the order value also. On basis of this, the machine is trained in a manner to create a kind of a a decision. It takes a decision ki how important, what is the priority and how the decision, when should it be taken. So now just imagine if such kind of automated responses can be created, right, and you feel that they are working very efficiently, let's say, because obviously the machine cannot have 100% accuracy. So the accuracy will not be, but still if it is having a decent accuracy and it's not a very you can say sensitive issue or topic or sensitive product or sensitive customer, then it is very good to use such kind of techniques, right. Because you see the automated NER, right, this entity recognition, now system processes 10,000 plus customer emails daily reducing response time by 65%. So what was happening earlier? Companies were unable to respond to their customers, and they used to take days and sometimes even months to respond, right? And the customer was feeling very bad, was getting very upset that nobody is even listening to me. In life it happens, no? That if somebody doesn't do anything for you, at least he responds to you, you feel good, right? Same thing. So when the customer is writing a problem or telling you a problem and you are not even responding to that, then the customer's dissatisfaction level improves, right? So here the company reduced the response time by 65% and the customer satisfaction improved by 40%. So this is, you can understand how important these things are, right? So now I think with this you must have realized the importance of all these different methods, right, that is used in text analysis, and how companies can use it for their benefit, right? Be it a finance company, a HR company, or HR functional area, or if marketing people, whatever it is. Overall the business is going to do perform better if you are investing more into kind of text analysis and AI algorithms and make it more efficient, because here the response will be improving and the customers needs, pain points will be reduced. So all this will be extremely helpful for a company, right? With this I'll wind up today my lecture, and I'll meet you in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Thank you very much.